Well, after completing a miracle in our first trip outside of Europe in this year's Firefighter, we have got a little bit of a luxury of waiting for a coaching badge and looking for another job. We're going to try and step up the level now. I'm hoping with what we achieved at Vendor and getting a Continental B license on the way, that's going to make things a little bit bigger for us. We'll wait and find out. We're not going for a winter to winter job this time. We're going to sit tight for a few months, finish our coaching course, and take stock of what we've achieved. Today, we go on the job hunt as we look for Club 9 of the Firefighter. Yes, hello, and welcome along to a slightly different episode of the Firefighter today, because usually we've done a club per season, we've gone and found our new job at the end of each episode, and then we've been ready to crack on the following week. However, this one going to be a slightly shorter and slightly different type of episode, because we're not going to be taking charge of a club today. We're going to be trying to find a job. Now, there's a couple of reasons we've done it this way this time. Part of it is Christmas and the fact that we've been traveling down to see family and friends, but also the fact that for the first time, we don't just need to fly into a new job. We've done a winter to winter job every year. We've had our trials and our tribulations in Sweden at the start as we've tried to build our reputation and keep garnering experience. Well, we don't need to do that now. We've reached the first time in this save where we can afford to be a little bit more picky. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to step up the reputation of club. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to move back to Europe for this episode. And I'm also hoping that we can get a few months off and get bigger jobs once we get an extra coaching badge. Because we saw even in our Twitch save a few weeks back, the difference an extra coaching badge can make when it comes to jobs and reputation is absolutely remarkable. So if you're looking forward to all of that, do chuck a thumbs up on it. Hopefully you all had a great Christmas as well. But for now, let's have a look at our profile and see where we stand. Because at the moment, we have a 1.5-star reputation, having just left Vendor at the end of our contract. Now, spoiler alert, for those of you who aren't up to date, we had a bit of a good time there because we took over a club that was in a very tight league, 2 points off the relegation zone, about 7 points off the top 3 or 4. We got into the playoffs and we won a promotion in a save where we were battling against survival. I mean, that's a pretty incredible achievement. So now we've got knowledge of South Africa and we've also got a surprise promotion on our CV. In addition to that, Vendor's board injected loads of cash in March and agreed to give us our 5th coaching badge. The thing that most of you in the comments thought would be hardest has been the easiest. And as a result of it, we should go up to a 2-star reputation at least once we've completed that badge, which is due to be in about 3 months' time. As a result, I'm not going to take a winter job this year. We're not going to go to Latvia or Sweden or wherever else. We are just going to crack on with trying to get ourselves to the top level and get ourselves a good job come winter. I'd like to go back to Europe, but ultimately, as long as it's a great job, I don't really mind. So let's start the job hunt today, having left. We're not going to be applying for jobs unless there is a remarkable one for a league that finishes during the winter time. So if we go and have a look at the job centre at the minute, there's a lot of jobs for clubs that are obviously in the off season, which completely break the rules of the Firefighter. And those that are about, they're not really great. I know we've seen before, like there was a Norway Rosenborg a couple of years ago. If there was something like that, then brilliant. But there just isn't at the moment. So we're not going to apply for anything now. We're going to keep an eye on the situation over the next few months. We're going to get our coaching badge completed. If there's any brilliant jobs that pop up that are too good to refuse, maybe if the Vendor job comes up again, if they start poorly after their promotion, then we will reconsider things. But for now, the plan is to just sit tight for a bit and see if our reputation grows in the next few months. If any great jobs come up, I'll let you know. But otherwise, I'll probably see you in the autumn. Well, we've reached November, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but it just sort of took me by surprise a little bit. We got to November, we haven't completed our coaching badge yet. We're still on a Continental C license. But weirdly, our reputation has now risen to 2-star, despite the fact all we've done in the last 3 months, or 4 months, sorry, is not manage a club. It's also interesting to note that despite being at 8 clubs, we've only managed 126 career games, so we're not hugely experienced when it comes to the managerial front. However, our win percentage was really boosted by our spell at Vendor, and it's got to be said, when we get that coaching badge, there might be some big jobs on the line. We have had a couple of requested interview offers that we couldn't take because they've been at clubs who are either completely doomed in promotion battles. During the summer, we actually got offered a few at clubs who were in the off season and they were of a decent enough level. So it does make me optimistic that once that badge is complete, we might be getting bigger jobs than we expect. I'm hoping maybe 2.5, 3-star reputation clubs. Let's just skip ahead and see what happens as clubs start to panic during the winter period and the managerial merry-go-round goes crazy as always. Well, we return basically a month later from when we last stopped off, and we have now got our Continental B licence, which as of yet has not made a difference to our reputation. However, you may notice something else on this screen, a little icon. We are wanted. We have got our first job interview offers of the winter period, and probably of this, the first one that is appropriate, albeit there are a lot that aren't for our circumstances. Don't forget, I know vendor ended up being different. In the Firefighter, we take clubs that are in trouble, that are battling for survival, and we try and keep them above the dotted line. We've had a couple of failures on our CV. We've had some final day deciders for sure. But now we want to pick one that's more difficult again, but is actually at a bigger level, a real step up and test for us. So let's see what we've got in the inbox. There are 2 offers of an interview that we can look at. There are a few that we weren't able to accept because they were in leagues that were winter to winter. So, for example, we had a couple of offers from Malaysia, one from Colombia, I think, as well. There's a few different offers there, but there are 2 from within Europe of fairly reputable clubs, but only one of them I think we can probably attend. And if we look at it, Antequera is a job in Spain in the Federation Group 4, and they are currently in 16th place, 7 points from safety. They've got the worst goal difference in the league. They're clearly horrendous defensively, but they are a side who have got an opportunity because there are still some decent players in there. They are semi-professional. They are only 1.5-star reputation. I was hoping we could maybe do better. And I know we won't see the attributes, but they've got some players of note. One scoring 1 in 4 over a number of years. Not sure how they're semi-pro and playing £1,000 a week as well, but we won't question that for now. There are players there that would be worth looking at. It definitely looks like a job we can go for an interview at, and it's a difficult one, but it's one I feel we could survive. The other one that's popped up is Avezzano. They are bottom of Serie C B in Italy, a league I used to love with the old San Marino challenge. But I think you can see here why we can't take this job. They have 1 point after 16 games. Now, that wouldn't put me off normally, and I guess maybe I don't have to turn it down because Pontedera are on 3, and the 4 places above it are all playoff places, so it's not like they're doomed to relegation, but we're definitely not getting out the bottom 2. And I think that's something that might be a little disheartening when you go into a job. However, they've got some decent players. They've clearly underperformed this season. Just interested, actually. Yeah, the media prediction was bottom as well. So it's not like they're a great squad. However, we're going to go into 10 interviews at both of those. I'm expecting there to be bigger jobs that pop up. Avezzano, apologies, are again 1.5-star reputation, but this time professional. But given some of the other jobs that are now becoming available, I think we might find some bigger ones soon. And we are getting linked with a few that have bigger reputations. So we'll attend them, but we will remain patient. We'll see if anything else pops up. Maybe some interviews from England soon. Let's go and skip ahead. I'll let you know all the job interviews that pop up. Well, it's only 2 days later, but we are starting to see a lot of offers now. The first day, the 6th, was a few English offers, but nothing too exciting. I'll run you through them. Today, there are a couple of job interviews I'm annoyed by because the rules of this save mean I can't go for them. But in comparison to what we've managed so far, they are massive jobs. You can see the sort we've been applying for. Samsunspor in Turkey. And the reason I've applied for jobs like that is because of some of the ones we've been given interviews for. But let's go in order. On the 6th, we were given job interviews at Torquay in the National League and Curzon Ashton in the National League North, who were both in pretty perilous positions. We have plenty more that we've not been able to go to. So jobs again in Malaysia particularly. Atlanta United in the MLS, bottom of the league. I found that a bit of a weird one. And then a big interview offer from Estrela in Portugal, who are 13th in the top division, just above the relegation zone, which I've gone for my CV again. But a club that were expected to be down there, they're a bit different. They were expected to be at the bottom. They've started well. Their manager's been poached. They're drawing a lot of games. So that could be an interesting one if we get the opportunity. But you go to the next day and look at this. Como have offered us a job interview. They are 7th in Serie B. So obviously one we can't take by the rules of this save because they're 13 clear of the relegation zone. But that is an indicator that we're going to start to get bigger opportunities here, because they are a club that must be what, 2.5, 3-star reputation, and they're giving us an interview. So the coaching badge is definitely having an effect here. We're getting far bigger jobs than we were getting interview offers when we were in the Twitch save, having left Aberdeen after winning back-to-back SPL. So this is a suggestion that we're going to get a big job. Samsun Spor have offered us a job interview. That's one I'm really interested in. They're second bottom of the Turkish Super League. I don't think I've managed in Turkey since FM16, and I really enjoyed it. So definitely one I would be interested in taking up. We did also, I think, get an offer from Pendikspor, or was it someone else down there? There were a couple of Turkish ones, and then there are other job interviews popping along as well, many of which, like the Malaysian ones, we can't take. The Republic of Ireland League, that's winter to winter, and another Malaysian one there. So Turkey looking like a possibility at the minute. That's the first big job offer that meets the criteria we've had, or job interview offer, sorry. But will it be that we get offers from England and nowhere else? Or will we get the chance to go to a big league? Let's find out as we attend the interviews, and we'll be back when there's more offers on the line. Well, the next day has proved very interesting because we have our first job offer of this winter spell, but we also have a very big interview offer for an English manager who's not really been able to go to England or manage at a good level before. If we go through to the inbox, Nottingham Forest have offered us a job interview. They are 19th in the Premier League and have 2 points from safety. It could be an incredible job to take on. We're only in 2027, so there'll still be a couple of familiar names about. Nicholas Dominguez, I can see. Don't know why they've got Jack Butland there, but you can see Taylor Harwood-Bellis is about. But there's not many of the originals, are there? Elliot Anderson's still there. Awani's still there. They've got Michael Elise over there. What on earth are they doing in 19th place? But they are, and we're going to go for an interview there. As you can probably see, though, we've got an offer from Antiquera to be their manager. It would be the biggest earner of our career at 475 quid a week, which puts into perspective how big an offer Nottingham Forest could be. They want to attempt to avoid relegation, but they've got a negative transfer budget. We've got to reduce the wage budget, which is ridiculous from where it is. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to stay up. However, we're going to delay that offer because I do feel I've earned a bigger opportunity now. And I'm hoping that in a week's time, when we get back to the opportunity here, we might have something else on the table. I'm basically now hoping for either the one in Turkey or for Nottingham Forest, because either of those are massive Firefighter jobs. Both second bottom in their leagues, both big European leagues. Let's see if either of them give us a chance. We'll attend the Forest interview and be back with any updates. Well, each day that goes by becomes more exciting now. I'm starting to think that we're heading towards the big leagues because we have got 3 things that have got me excited here. Maybe not so much the Curzon, Ashton and Torquay ones, but Forenza have offered us a job interview. They are the bottom team in the Portuguese Premier League. They're on 7 points. They're only 3 from the playoff. And again, they're a big step up. They've got players on multiple £1,000 a week. They've got players who are worth millions of pounds. They've got people who can make an impact. And that's something that excites me. However, the thing that excites me most, particularly given the fact I haven't managed there for many years, is this. Samsun Spor have requested the backroom staff changes. Now, I have to do this in each interview, having learnt from our first club, where we said we don't need to make any changes, they then wouldn't let us actually recruit into free roles. So unless you say this, you can't actually add staff even into vacant places. What I do feel with this, though, is that we're now surely going to get a job offer. It's just whether it comes in time before the next delays. If we can get a job at Samsun Spor, who are still second bottom of that Turkish Superliga, that would be an incredible job. Again, it's a little bit of a tightly compacted league by the top 3, which you would expect. However, they are a team who are expected to finish in the bottom half. The 2.5-star reputation, it would be a nice step up along the way. And they've got some really good young players, apparently. There's not many older heads in the squad, something we often accuse directors of football of in these saves. So we would be inheriting something we could work with. It's a massive squad. Not sure it's the most balanced squad. It would certainly be plenty of fun. So if they can offer us a job in the next few days, I think we've got our next club for the new year. Let's go and skip ahead and see if they come good with a job offer. We return 2 days later for the end of this saga of this episode, but we have 3 job offers and a new interview to choose between. Where are we going to go? Let's have a look at the inbox, because we have got job offers from Torquay United, from Estrella in Portugal, and from Samsunspor in Turkey. Pendikspor in Turkey have also offered us an interview. They're a club I recommended you manage in FM24 from the start, but this club are in more trouble at the minute. They're offering us a wage of £5,500 a week, which is more than Estrella, but they're offering us less of a transfer budget and wage budget. But that thing, I think, makes it a little bit more exciting and a little bit more difficult to do. It's a league I want to manage in. It feels like a really good job for me to return to Europe in. They want to play direct football, which is going to require a slightly different style to what we did at Venda, where we had limited physical ability, but a lot of very good technical footballers. So playing on a counter-attack, playing direct, playing defensively solid, trying to avoid relegation at the same time, and having a little bit to spend in the January window, which is coming up in the next month or so. Replacing Carlos Carvajal, a manager a lot of fans in England will know. And when you consider that Venda was our biggest earning job before on 400 odd quid a week, to be earning 5,500 a week is a sign that we're stepping up to the big time. So Samsunspor is a job that I don't think we can turn down. I'm sure you'll agree or disagree with me. We'll meet all the players and everything next time. Little bit of a heads up as well. I think it might be quite a long episode because there are about 40 players in that first team squad. However, we're going to get an extended half season to work with them. They've not won a league game since September. They've only won a cup game since then. And they've been really struggling to keep the ball out the net and, to be fair, to put the ball in the other net. It's not a good spell for them at the minute. Just looking at what we'd start with, Besiktas at home first game. Blimey, it's not going to be good, is it? And they're really tough ends of the season as well, if we don't get out of trouble before the penultimate one. So I like the look of it. There are some big games at the end as well. If you take out Besiktas, Pendikspor third from the end, and in 16th place Antalyaspor on the final day of the season. This has got the makings of a great little stint and one that will genuinely be close down the bottom end. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to get the right side of the dotted line, but it's the job that I just have to take. We are going off to Samsunspor. Let's start the negotiations from 5.5. I'm going to try and get up to 6.5 grand a week. There's no harm in doing so. Offering me a 2-year deal as well, so I will have to resign from this one. They've offered a 6.25. I don't think we can turn that down at all. We are heading to Samsunspor in Turkey for a big relegation battle in the Turkish Super League. The team in second bottom, who are 2 points from safety, but 1 point from the bottom of the table. Will we be able to keep them up? I hope you'll join me next week in 2025 as we find out on the first Sunday evening of the new year. Thank you so much for watching and for following this save towards the end of 2024. I know it's something completely different to my usual daily content, but I didn't just want to do the same again with FM25 delayed. We know it's going to be a big year next year, but for now, we want to crack on with a Firefighter. And this feels like a perfect next step and one that I can really sink my teeth into. So if you enjoyed it and you're looking forward to it too, please do put a thumbs up on it. Make sure you come and join me next Sunday as we return to the full feature-length specials. And fingers crossed, I don't want to speak too soon. We might even have internet by then, so we can live stream on Twitch from next Sunday as well. I'll keep you posted on social medias and let you know if that's the case. Be great to get stuck back in with Victoria Pelzen over there. If you want to stay up to date with everything on this channel though, including loads of build up to FM25, save ideas, guides and lots of other videos to come, and please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on to make sure you don't miss a thing. Come and check out the football podcast where we're flying through the festive season in the EFL Championship. Loads of videos to get involved with there, so please do come and say hello if you haven't before. And again, a massive happy new year to everyone. I hope you have a great time. I hope you're able to enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you back here next Sunday in 2025 as we return to Europe, to Turkey and Samsunspor with a big survival challenge on our hands. The Firefighter is about to get tough again.